A tip this morning that from a citizen that he was in an empty apartment, automotive apartment here in Wagoner. This is the same area we were searching last night. He was captured with no resistance.
Was he by himself?
He was by himself.
Any signs that the other suspect had been there at any time, Mr. Skaggs?
We were following up on some other leads at this time that we believe he's in another area here in Wagoner, and we have a team right now that is making that search.
Can you talk a little bit about how they were able to break out?
Yeah, pretty simple really. They lured the guard into the jail cell for a maintenance problem in their cell, and they overpowered him. And there was more than one assailant, and they took him down and took his keys away from him.
Was the deputy injured or jailer?
Not seriously. I think you can imagine getting taken down in the jail, and that's a scary situation anyways. And to be overpowered like that and locked in the cell and your keys taken away from you, I'm sure he's seen his life flash before him.
And so did you say which part of town was the person, Cotton, arrested?
I'm sorry?
Which part of town?
The south part of Wagoner.
South part of Wagoner.
Automotive Apartments.
You mentioned earlier that these two men knocked on the door of a lady and she didn't let them in. Is she okay?
It was a male.
Male.
They had early this morning had knocked on the door wanting to use the phone. He denied him access to the phone and called us. He identified their picture, so we knew that they were in the area.
And what area was that in?
It's also in the south part of Wagoner.
And what time was that?
That was early this morning, 1:30 or 2 o'clock. And we had tracking dogs in the area that had tracked him to that area.
Has Mr. Cotton cooperated at all since he's been returned to custody? Has he given you any kind of information?
No.
Not helpful.
He is scratched up, dirty, muddy. I'm sure he's probably glad to be back in our facilities.
Did
Was
he
he
seem
still
tired?
I'm sorry?
Did he seem tired at all? Or?
He didn't seem tired to me, so he just cut up, scratched up, dirty, muddy.
Is he still
Been on the run.
Still in jail coveralls, or had he get?
No,
changed
he
to
was
clothes?
he was in some white clothing, I think long handle type stuff.
Do you think anybody on the outside helped them get out at all?
I don't think so. If he'd had any help, I don't believe he'd have been in the condition he was found in, hiding. Like I said, the public's the one that gave us the tip. They seen him go in the apartment, and they called us, and he was there and was captured by the Wagoner Police Department.
What is it like right now in the jail, now that you know?
Everybody's locked down. They'll be locked down until the situation is taken care of. We'll go over any of our procedures to see if we've done anything wrong, that we need to make any changes. We have an obligation to the city and this county to keep our citizens safe, and we're going to do that. We've caught this guy within 24 hours, and we'll hopefully get the other guy.
This is the first
Early
inmate
there was.
escape.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is the first inmate escape here in a few years.
We had a trustee and a road crew run off a couple years ago, and we caught him pretty quickly also.
Early on, there was talk of a gold Ford Escape that was possibly used. Are you guys still looking for that vehicle? Have you found it? Or
We are not. We now believe that it was not involved, that they were just in the wrong place at the right time.
So probably this guy's on foot wherever he might be, but you still believe him to be in the area in Wagoner.
We have had sightings of him this morning. We're confirming those sightings right now. They've come from a very reliable source, so we feel confident that the other one is still close in the area.
You previously said that you would consider them dangerous, that other person you should
Absolutely.
still consider them dangerous?
Anytime somebody escapes from any kind of penal institution, they have the opportunity to break in cars, homes, steal a weapon. A lot of people leave weapons unsecured in their vehicles at night, so we have to assume that he has done that.
What message do you have for the citizens of Wagoner?
Well, the same as last night, they see anybody out of the ordinary, like this lady this morning, seen this guy climbing over a fence and called us this morning. Things like that, nobody knows your area better than you.
Are officers still checking cars?
I'm sorry?
Are officers still checking people's cars on the way out?
We don't have anybody doing roadblocks right now, but we have about 25 people out. Oklahoma Highway Patrol's assisted us from the very beginning. The OBN, the Marshal Service, Quita Police Department, Broken Arrow Police Department. In a situation like this, I mean, we all stick together, whether it's here or anywhere else. we couldn't ask for a better team we had last night.
You guys
Was
have,
Cotton armed when you took him in?
I'm sorry?
Was Cotton armed when you took him in?
No.
getting that many law enforcement agencies together so quickly, is that part of the plan you all have in place here in case an escape does take place here? Or?
Well, I mean, you know, there's really no plan for that. I mean, anytime I think Captain Brown can tell you, anytime a situation occurs like this, it just seems to come together. No one's told us no.
It's a force multiplier. Anytime we have a situation where we receive a call for assistance from an agency like this, we all pitch in together, and we got a lot of resources. They've got a lot of knowledge about the area, so we're glad to help.
And where's that jailer at now, the one who was overpowered?
He's been ordered to take off a couple days by his doctors. He did receive some knots on his head and some bruises, so just for safety's sake, he's taking a couple days off.
And is the outstanding fugitive, is he a local guy? I mean, does he know the streets and the back alleys of Wagoner pretty good, or?
No,
Okay.
he's lost.
So advantage to law enforcement.
Advantage one up for us.
What's the plan for officers the rest of the day? How are they out searching? Are they just?
I'm sorry?
How are the officers out searching now? Are they driving around? Are they?
We have some on foot, and we're waiting on a helicopter now, and we have search teams out.
Are the dogs still out?
I'm sorry?
Dogs still out?
We don't have the dogs out right now, but we're checking some things right now, and if that don't work, then I think the captain can expand on what we have on standby with the highway patrol.
Guys, without getting real tactical in nature, we would like to be prepared for anything. So if this situation does end up in some kind of a barricaded situation, we've got resources. Our tactical teams will be in place. We've got perimeters set to assist the sheriff's office. We've got troopers and officers on pace right now. And if that situation does call for a tactical, such as a dynamic entry or something like that, then we're prepared to do that.
Okay, and one more time, just so I know I've got it straight, this guy this morning was spotted near this apartment. Was it an abandoned apartment?
The one that we captured?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he was seen around this apartment, and the citizens involved knew that particular apartment was empty. So they knew that we were looking for somebody, they knew who we were looking for, and they knew that they shouldn't be in that apartment.
So they called you, and then it was just a matter of minutes.
It was unlocked then, I guess? An unlocked unit?
I don't know that answer, if it was locked or unlocked, but I couldn't answer that.
What was the name of that apartment?
Autumnwood apartment,
Autumnwood.
yes.
Can you get your name, first and last name real quick, and the spelling?
Bob Colbert, C-O-L-B-E-R-T, Sheriff of Wagoner County.
Captain George Brown, BROWN, spokesperson, Oklahoma Highway Patrol.
Anything else you guys
I'm good.
think the public need to know, or?
Anything
You
you'd
look
to
like
add?
you got something.
Would you like to say something to the fugitive himself?
Well, you know, he's going to be caught. He's lost. He's out of his element. He's in our element, and we have, like I said, all the assistance in the world from different agencies, from state to federal, local. It just come together in a plan really well. I'm saying within 30 minutes to an hour, we had 25 people here, 5 or 6 different agencies involved. So, you know, he's definitely outnumbered.
So his best bet is
Yeah, absolutely.
You said Staggs is not from this part of the county. How about Cotton? Which part of the county do they live in?
He's lived all around. He's lived here in Wagoner and other parts of the county. He's very familiar with the area.
Cotton or Staggs?
Cotton.
Okay.
How did they get out of the jail? Did they just walk out, or?
No.
They had the keys?
This was at a very busy time. They were booking, other officers were booking the inmates in. We had deputies inside the booking area booking prisoners in. So they knew this was the right time to try to make this move. They were spotted by the guard in the tower. The tower notified booking, hey, we got 2 inmates from G-Pod running down the hallway, which is absolute not. They should be not anywhere outside that pod. So he made the proper calls. He called the booking area. The deputies had started to the back, and it's just a very short distance through that hallway, through the kitchen, and out the back door. So you got the key and the short distance to go. It's pretty easy thought process from there. We found their clothes scattered all the way around the jail. They were throwing shoes and clothes as they were running. So they left a pretty good trail. I mean, they told us which direction to start looking. The videos when they were leaving the jail was pretty comical. They were falling over each other, falling in the street. And it'd definitely be one for the most stupid criminal video.
So both these men were in jail on probation violations?
I don't know if they're both probation violation, but they're burglary, drug charges.
Had they been adjudicated and awaiting DOC transfer, or were they just
No.
Pending charges?
I don't believe so, not yet. On one of them for sure, I'm not sure on the other one.
And which one are you sure of?
Well, I'd rather not say, but I know one of them's facing some federal charges on some other stuff.
Okay.
The feds are awful interested in them.
Were any of the other inmates helpful? Did they know anything in like the other cells nearby?
Yeah, there's probably another 20 inmates involved in that pod, and they'd made the decision not to help the guard. So, you know, we have a great DA. He's been on top of this. The DA 27th District. They've been involved in this from the get-go. They actually have some agents assisting us right now. The paperwork's already been filed for escape charges, robbery charges for taking property from the jailer. So they're on top of it right away.
How many inmates do you have, and how many were in that pod?
In that particular pod, I'm not, we're over capacity. We're at 101 capacity. We're around 109. We can hold up to 152 legally, but our capacity is 101, and we're at 109. We have the same problems that the other jails have.
Does that make it difficult that you guys are?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's just simple math. If you have 50 or 60 to watch versus 101, I mean, these are criminals that you're watching. A lot of these guys are just knuckleheads that end up in jail, but a lot of them are hardened criminals, serious criminals that need to be kept off the street. We didn't take this lightly. Again, we have an obligation to the public to keep them safe, and we'll be going over all of our training and see if there's anything we're missing.
How long had the jailer worked here? You know?
He was a new jailer. He's passed all of his tests. He's passed all of his training with flying colors, and like I said earlier, he did the right thing. He has a monitoring screen that he watches. He's seen them. He's seen them in the security area they shouldn't have been in. He made the right phone calls.
What's the name of the jailer?
We're not releasing that yet. Till he gets his medical stuff taken care of.
And how many guards or jailers were on duty at this time?
I believe at the time, I'm not for sure, there was 3 or 4 and 2 deputies in the facility. And there were more deputies upstairs that also responded immediately. So there's a total of 7 or 8 total.
Do you feel like this was planned out, or is this just something these two idiots cooked up and suddenly did?
We went back and monitored the phone calls that the inmates have made in the past couple of weeks, and I don't think there's any doubt that this was a planned deal.